Gracias, señor presidente. Voy a hablar en inglés. It is just 1 year since we lost our dear friend Pablo Dreyfus from Viva Rio in the Air France disaster. Pablo played a crucial role in every BMS since 2003 as an advisor to IANSA members, and we miss him very much. This is the first BMS since the small arms process regained its momentum in 2008. We hope that this fourth BMS will continue that success. Since the third BMS, new initiatives have emerged at global and regional levels, emphasizing poverty and other root causes that can drive people to violence. Meanwhile, the progress toward an arms trade treaty has highlighted the need for greater responsibility in international transfers. These initiatives are all essential given the multidimensional nature of the problem of armed violence. IANSA supports them all, addressing regulation of the weapons themselves. Whatever motivation lies at the root of a conflict, whether between individuals or communities, the availability of firearms in the immediate environment multiplies the probability of death, serious disability, or grave violations of human rights. An assault with a gun is far more likely to result in death than an assault with any other common weapon. Borrowing an analogy from our public health network, combating malaria is more effective using multiple strategies. The mosquito is the vector that carries the disease, but people are more susceptible if their underlying health is poor. So improving people's health helps to protect them from malaria, but we also need to reduce their exposure to the mosquito. Likewise, in preventing armed violence, we need to strengthen communities to build up their resistance, but also to reduce the quantities and the types of small arms that can be produced, imported, and sold, and to regulate the purchase, use, and storage of these weapons, whether by governments or by civilians. These must be underpinned by measures enabling the weapons to be tracked, removed, and if necessary, destroyed to protect public safety. Specifically in terms of the POA, we urge member states to consolidate and strengthen the international mechanisms and agencies that support POA implementation. Compare the resources dedicated by the international community to controlling nuclear weapons with the resources available for small arms in the Office of Disarmament Affairs and the UN Office on Drugs and Crime. Speaking of the ODA, I must mention how impressed we have been with the 3 regional disarmament centers over the past 2 years. In Lima, in Lomé, and Kathmandu, the centers have built excellent relations with governments and civil society by providing exactly the kind of practical support and leadership that is needed. The centers are helping to bridge the gap between the global agreement and local implementation. It is a very long distance from New York to a national parliament or to a local mayor or police. As we move toward the 2011 and 2012 conferences, we need more efforts to connect the global with the local. As you have heard, IANSA members are also helping to bridge that gap. Over the coming 2 years, we will emphasize our monitoring role in the program of action and other agreements to reduce armed violence. We will be monitoring not only the implementation by states, but also the suitability of the program of action itself. And we will push for the 2012 review conference to actually involve a review, to make the POA stronger and more applicable to the reality of armed violence. Thank you very much.